Hello and welcome to our Q&A with our A-Level Head of Studies, Giles Inman. Giles, thank you so much for joining us today. The first question I have is what an A-Level Head of Studies does. Who are you and what do you do?
Hi Tim. Partly it's a pastoral position, so we're looking after the welfare of students, making sure they're happy, safe and successful in college. Part of it is quality role as well, making sure that students in lessons have the best possible experience, that they have excellent lessons and that they enjoy them.
Okay, super, thank you. I know also that you manage a team of wonderful people known as Progress Mentors. Now, we've had an awful lot of questions and requests for information about what a Progress Mentor is. So, who are these wonderful people and why are they so important to the student journey here at Runshaw?
They're a specialist team. They're totally focused on pastoral support. It's their full-time job. Quite similar to a form tutor in school. Students would see them once a week. They have a group session. They also see their pastoral mentor though for a regular one-to-one appointment. So you sit down with them, you talk about your subjects, you talk about what you want to do after Runshaw, and again they're checking that you're happy, you're safe, you're successful, that you're making great progress in college. They thoroughly know all the systems and services in college, so they can flag up career support for you, counselling support, they can make sure you're aware of enrichment and other activities in college.
Okay, that's brilliant, thank you very much. The next question. For someone sat at home watching this who's thinking, why should I choose to study A-levels at Runshaw College? What would you tell that student?
Probably the first thing I'd discuss was the pastoral support. We had an inspector come into college and say that that was in a different league to other establishments. I'd also say the subject provision, the teaching and learning in college is absolutely outstanding. I'd say as well, we've got a hugely varied provision for students, all the exciting Horizons activities that they can do, all the enrichment activities that they can do, the huge number of things that they can get involved in college. It's such a sort of happy, safe and supportive environment. That's why I'd say come to Runshaw.
Okay, super. You're stealing some of my later questions as well there, Giles, so thank you for that very thorough answer. The next one, regarding entry requirements. To access the A-Level programme, what will students need to achieve at GCSE to do that, please?
The general requirements for A-Levels is to have 5 GCSEs or equivalent at grade 5 or above. Some subjects do have particular requirements. Some subjects, say like maths and science, would ask you to get to grade 6 in those subjects. All the entry requirements we've got are looking at past performance, student satisfaction, trying to make sure that the right students are on the right courses, that it is going to be a course that you are happy and successful on. We'd always say, whatever your GCSE results, talk to the college. There's lots of different courses in college, lots of different subjects and options. Come and talk to us and we'll go through what your options are.
Okay, magic, thank you. We have, as is understandable in this current time, we have had a lot of questions regarding what the timetable might look like come September. Now, I'm happy to answer part of that. Obviously, Runshaw, we're going to have a blended approach, some online, some on campus, and lots of regular contact with your teachers and your Progress Mentors. For the A-Level programme, Giles, is there anything you'd want to add to that about the timetable from September?
Just that obviously, we'll watch carefully what the guidance is. We'll make sure that you are safe in college. Our key aim is that when you are in college, you're seeing all your teachers and seeing your pastoral mentor or progress mentor as it will be next year. What we also want to make sure is if you are spending some of your time with online learning, that those resources are varied, diverse, and they meet your needs. Your teachers will still always be available. If you are working from home, you can email them, you can contact them through other means. They can explain those topics to you. They can make sure that you're still making really good progress.
Okay, super, thank you. Next question is about part-time work. We've had a lot of students contact us regarding how part-time work might fit in with their studies. Would you be able to cover that area for us, please? So for an A-level student starting with us in September, how could part-time work sit alongside their studies?
We'd say to any student, do get a part-time job. It develops communication skills, develops your organisational skills. It's a great thing to have. What we do recommend is that you don't really take part-time work that adds up to more than about 10 hours per week. Lots of students work in the evenings, lots of students work at the weekends. You do in a normal week have a study day, and some students do take a job on their study day as well. But you have to bear in mind sometimes on your study day you'd come into college for debates, discussions, trips, those sorts of activities. So you have to make sure that if you've got something on your study day, it is flexible. But yeah, do get a part-time job. Most of our students do. It really develops your skills.
Super, thank you. I spoke with Lindsay Neville yesterday, Head of Vocational Studies, and I shared with her, and indeed the people watching the video, that I used to, as a former Run Trust student myself, I used to work at Halfords in Chorley, part-time on a Saturday, sometimes a Sunday, on the car audio section, and it was great fun. It was a wonderful bunch of people that were there, and the skills and things that I learned when I was studying and working blended together really, really well. So thank you for that. And a big shout out to the Halfords Chorley crew as well. Okay, next question. If a student starts the A-level programme in September and they wish to change some of their courses, one of their courses, what might happen? How far into that journey is that able to be changed?
Well, in your first few weeks in college, you can swap between subjects. We do each year have a cut-off point because we don't want you to join a course when it's months into that course and there's lots of information that's already been covered, and that becomes a very difficult and stressful journey. But in your first few weeks, you can swap between subjects. We say to students that you can start on 3 subjects. You might do that on A-levels if you've got a very firm idea of what you want to do. But most students start on 4 subjects. So they work through those 4 subjects, they work out what they want to do after A-levels, they work out what their strongest and most enjoyable 3 subjects are, and some students will drop one of their subjects, and that can be at any point within your first year. So you've got the opportunity to swap between subjects in your first few weeks, and you've got that opportunity to drop one of your subjects later in the year as well.
Okay, brilliant. Now that's our 3+1 offer on our A-level programme. Would you be able to say a little bit more about what 3+1 actually is?
3+1 really sort of, it's a technical term for us because it's saying that sort of your intention, your aim through your studies is to do 3 A-levels. And by second year, that's what the vast majority of our students are doing. They're doing 3 A-levels. But in your first year, you could be doing 4. And like I said before, you could drop one of those 4. So it slims down and focuses your studies.
Brilliant, thank you. And that leads really into my next question, because the flexibility that provides with students being able to choose A-levels and then leave them at a later date to concentrate on 3 in their second year, kind of ties in with what goes on outside of the classroom at Runshaw, the questions we've had about extracurricular activities. Now, we've had a huge amount of questions about extracurricular activities. A lot of students have been on Horizons events at the college, but equally a lot of students don't know a great deal about the Horizons programme and some of the extracurricular things that go on with the A-level programme. Would you be able to tell the people watching a little bit about the extracurricular things they can do as an A-level student?
Yeah, the Horizons programme focuses mainly on academic activities. So all the A-level subjects, and there's more than 40, they have Horizons programmes. They might invite university lecturers in to talk about a topic that's not on the syllabus. It could be taking part in competitions. Some of those are regional competitions, some national and some international competitions. We've also got a huge range of enrichment activities, and that focuses on the things that are done just for fun, relaxation, enjoyment, and that's tremendously diverse. Some of them are sporting activities. Archery is one of the ones that is done. There's things like pool done as well. And there's quite a number of societies as well. If students have got a particular focus, some societies will run every year, and some have been founded and started by students. If a particular group's got a certain interest, they can start their own society.
Okay, brilliant. A specific question now. What is the EPQ? What is the Extended Project Qualification? Would you mind answering that question, please?
Yeah, so it is qualification, it's equivalent to half an A-level. Often students do it in their first year in college. The choice of title is really broad. You can do it on just about anything you want. You will have a couple of sessions every week and you'll have a supervisor, someone guiding you through. So as I said, you choose your own title, you research that title and you keep a diary of all the research that you're doing. So you might look at your title. Do you change your title partway through? Does the focus of your study change and alter? Are the sources that you use the ones you expect? Or do some of your sources change over time? You write your research up into a long extended essay, a bit like a dissertation at university, and then you present your results to a small audience. So some of your marks come from your essay that you do and your presentation you do, but more of your marks come from your research diary, keeping track of your journey as you research your project.
Okay, super, thank you very much. Final question from me regarding next steps or progression. Would you be able to tell the people watching where our A-level students go to once they've finished studying with us? What sort of destinations might some of our Year 11s have in mind when they've finished at Runshaw?
I mean, just to say, obviously, whatever your intended destination is after Runshaw, we'll support you, we'll help you. We'll have had students follow that route before. Typically though, more than 80% of A-level students go on to university when they've finished with us, so we're quite adept at supporting you with UCAS applications, writing personal statements, those sorts of things. Usually about 10% of students will go on to apprenticeships, often sort of high-level apprenticeships, so we'll provide support, things like mock interviews, writing your CV, filling in online assessment activities, so we'll support you with those things. And the remaining students, they'll have things like volunteering activities that they do, gap years, travel, those sorts of activities. And we will always say to students, your support doesn't end on your last day at Runshaw. So many students get help from progress mentors and from myself with university applications if they have a gap year, with applications for jobs if they're doing that a little bit later.
Okay, super. Thank you very, very much, and thank you for joining us today. The final thing I'll like to add to everybody watching is that our A-level programme at Runshaw is something we're incredibly proud of, and it's people like Giles, it's people like Lucy, the other head of A-level studies, and the progress mentors that allow our students to be as happy and successful as possible. That's absolutely everything that we strive for at Runshaw. And Giles, a big, big thank you to you and your team, and to Lucy and her team, and all the A-level programme staff for everything that they do for our students. I really, really hope that those of you watching this, it's answered a few of the questions that you've got. And if not, if we haven't managed to answer any of them, we will reply to the emails that have come in individually. So stay safe, stay positive, and we will see you really, really soon. Thanks so much for watching.